Hello everybody, my name is Nobody. It's actually Ahau, A-H-A-U. I'm introducing myself to all my new subscribers. Believe it or not, this is my second channel, and this was a channel I started mainly for selling. But as you see, coming to California, my sailboat was weird because they have all these rules about you not living in your own property. It's pretty weird. We'll go over it another day, but as you see, I have no problem challenging the cops and standing my ground, resisting their ignorance and their incriminations, and I beat them left and right. We can always talk about it. If anybody ever made a request, I can start sharing links, I can mirror more videos or whatever you would like. But what we're going to talk about today, well, actually let me cover one thing really quick. I quit making videos a long time ago, mainly because I had another channel and it was Nobody Space I-Am. Well, it's no longer here. If you want to know why, just ask or speculate. Who cares? It's all good. It was removed. We're not here anymore. We restarted. If you scroll to the bottom of my videos, some of those debunks and connections and C-word videos, they're actually, I don't like using the C-word. Sorry, I don't want to trigger anybody's ego. They're from my old channel that were carried over to the new one. There were a few videos I had on my laptop saved still. I usually delete as I go. I have lots of files on my computers. I'm always in that, like, struggling to save space. But anyways, because I've jumped over 27%, I've increased from like 501 to 600 and something subscribers in over a month. And I haven't done anything. I'm gonna start making a couple of videos again. To start off, y'all ever have a topic you want me to cover? Ask me in the comments. I'll start updating my descriptions with my Instagram and my personal, well, sorry. Let me take that back, not my personal. I'll set up another email where I might just recover the old one I used to use for my last channel. You'll see it in some of the older video descriptions if you scroll to the very bottom and start working up. Or find the debunks / C-word videos. You'll see in those links I have an email in there that I used to respond to, and I took about a year and a half, almost 2 years off now that I've been serious about the YouTube. About a year. You know. Anyways, I'm going to introduce myself, show you how I think, how crazy I am. That's actually why I was going to recommend that everybody go to the bottom of the list and watch my Diving Down the Rabbit Hole series. It actually used to have a lot of views on the last channel. Just so happens I'm not getting very many views these days and age. So if you watch those Rabbit Hole series, Volume 1, or Episode 1A, 1B, and 2, there was actually planned to be 13, and there was only 5 series made, but I was only able to recover 3. If you like them, please share them. You don't have to thumbs up. I don't really even care if y'all subscribe. I just want y'all to have the information that's in those videos, because it is all very suppressed, and it is very, very much shadow banned. They do everything they can to keep these from coming to light. So, what are we going to talk about today? I'm going to show you how crazy I think and where my mind goes and how far outside the box I am. Today we are going to talk about mosquitoes. Mosquitoes during the COVID-19 pandemic. What a freaking psyop operation, right? What a joke. What a hoax. I think. I can't help but to do anything but laugh all day, every day. As I see people wearing these masks that it says on the box, it can't prevent the getting of or giving to of the COVID-19. As they're sitting there intaking carbon dioxide all day, that's what you do to somebody who's hyperventilating, so they have acidic blood, so it thins out. And let me tell you what happens when your blood turns acidic. But hey, I digress. So we're gonna get into the real talk here. Mosquitoes! I mean, I want to talk about the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, and all these terrorists that are supposed to be out there. Remember all those terrorists we've been talking about for all these years and all those laws that allowed them to get to this point because of terrorists? Where are those terrorists? Because now would be a perfect time to implement your plans or take over or strike and hurt somebody. But you know, terrorists seem to be sick as well, I guess. I guess they all got COVID-19. Too bad we can't set up a Walgreens lab for them to get tested, huh? But anyways, I digress once again, and we won't be returning to that subject. Mosquitoes! Here's what I think about mosquitoes. I think we've been misled, we are lied to, and completely given a farce about this amazing creature. That's right, I said amazing. Just like certain things that are current in events, they've convinced you that it will kill you. Not saying that that current event won't or is even real or not real. I'm not going to take a stance on it right now. I think I pretty much got where I stand. But right now, let's just continue into mosquitoes. The majority of people are now scared of mosquitoes to the point to where they will cover themselves with insecticides and all kinds of aerosols that are actually not only corrupting your DNA, but they're corrupting your biomemory just to repel these little things. And you know, if you lived on a lake, near a lake or a pond, you would see that these outdoor sprays don't even work. You'll still get eaten alive fishing one night. But hey, I need to come up with another word than digress, but I digress. I believe nature to be perfect. Nature never goes out of balance unless manipulated by man. I know, I saw a funny post on Instagram that made me think, and it said, it had a picture of Abraham with his hands up. Now, I don't practice religion, but I do believe in creation and a creator, because something doesn't come from nothing, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. So anyways, I believe that mosquitoes are nature's natural way to inject you with what you would call a vaccine, a natural vaccine. It gives you small trace amounts of microbes, germs, and believe it or not, other blood from other beings, which would only be more DNA information to be added to yours. Unless we're thinking 1980, The Fly, and I don't think that's what nature had in mind. I mean, I would look pretty good looking for a fly man, would I not? Okay. But I do not digress. Think about it. If we sat there and thought about it for a really, really long time, how many animals in the rainforest right now have shots? How many of them have gotten their rabies vaccination? And how many are running around with rabies? Right? They don't even really leave the forest. It's so rare, unless you're in a place like California or these weird places to where bears occasionally do scurry off. But I don't think that has anything to do other than the fact that they caught the scent, smell, or taste, or even the interest of something outside of, one, what they've already learned from campers and people who come into their territory and leave stuff behind, and or two, get curious. There's obviously way more examples I can give, but again, I'm just trying to scratch the surface. I want you to use your mind. See if you can meet me on my level. And even if you don't, it's okay. I'm not here to get you programmed into my beliefs. I don't care if you adopt my beliefs or not. We're just here having a great conversation. And I really don't care if you're here to if you think you're here to instill your beliefs, because it's not going to happen. I'll still look at the information and I'll evaluate it from a balanced standpoint of view, and I'll try my best to reach your perspective. With that being said, no guarantee I'll adopt it 100% into my consciousness as something that I want to turn into my reality, because I personally believe what I choose to believe is what my reality conforms to. But hey, we'll have that talk for another day. Mosquitoes are nature's natural way to share genetic information and to build immune systems. Because I watch animals all day long get bit by mosquitoes, and I've never seen an animal or heard of it getting these type of diseases. Animals actually rarely die of natural causes and are usually victim to the predatory system these days. And by that being said, because we humans like to think of ourselves as the top of the food chain or hunters, I believe myself to be eye to eye with everything, because all life is precious. All life comes from a spiritual standpoint, or a spirit, or a Carillion energy. Yep, find the rabbit hole series. But anyways, back to where we are. I believe it all to be one and the same. If you think about it, if you went to a bunch of places and got bit by a bunch of mosquitoes, what's done to your body now? What are you carrying back? I travel constantly, and I traveled on a sailboat for over 5 years. I've been all over the United States and into several other foreign countries abroad. And I can guarantee you I've never not gotten at least a bug bite in one of them. Now, I'm not saying that all these bug bites were mosquitoes, because heck, I can't really tell you, but I know I've been eaten alive by mosquitoes all over the United States, all over Mexico, and many, many, many of the southern Americas, countries of America, of the Southern America. Because let's face it, America is the United States of America. So South America is the entire continent. Because we want to make America great again. Talking about all of Americas when these are all independent countries. Just the questions you ask when you look at things. So what do y'all think? Do you think mosquitoes actually could be a natural way for us to get a natural immune system from nature? Oh, I never finished my story about the Abraham. Let's conclude that really quick. The post I saw on Instagram, which I would love to add to this video, but if you find my Instagram, I'll actually just make the post tomorrow. I'll download it or later tonight, or whenever I get to a stopping point, maybe even a rest area. I don't know if I'm going to make it all the way through to California. I'll add it to my pictures or thing. You'll see it on there. And it has Abraham with his hands up, and he's looking up, and it says, "And God said to Abraham, hey bro, I kind of messed up when I made everything perfect, but I messed up when I made the immune system. So I'm going to need you to inject all kinds of inoculations and poisons in your blood to correct that for me. Thanks, guy." Is that what you think a creator would say who created a place on perfect balance that's only been destroyed and corrupted by man? Look at nature. Let's look to nature for an example. Does nature really need a preserve? No, it doesn't. But what men need is a preserve. That's for damn sure. They need to preserve their own limited beliefs within themselves. That's what we need to preserve. We need to find our ancients and our ancient knowledge and the all-knowing state that we once came from, and which we're falling away from. I believe we're going backwards in time, not forward. We're going away from this point of oneness, this one place of connection, this great utopia that once existed before the poison waters were here, that created things like the mud flood and mud fossils. Yeah, that's all real. It's all live. And if you don't believe me, you can do simple little searches. I had to validate these things all on my own because I've been doing this kind of research and studying for almost 15 years. But mainly, things that were popping up as they came up and were discovered, I hopped on every board. I hopped aboard on every bus, on every train. I wanted to research, validate, and or disprove. Mainly disproving, because I used to be a closed-minded, ego-driven little buffoon. But we're not like that anymore. We take things in, we research them, and validate them ourselves. And we've come to conclude, like the majority of C words aren't really C words. They're actually question marks for you to fill in for yourself. And you'll find that most things have more backing behind them than you could imagine. You don't even need to go to the deep web or dark web anymore like you used to have to 10 years ago to find some of this information. It's basically public domain now. You can find almost anything. If you can't find resources that you used to be able to find on YouTube, I highly recommend looking on other sites like BitChute, or I forgot the name of it. There's one more non-censored multimedia site, social media site like YouTube. So I consider YouTube social media. So I don't know if y'all do or not. Just words, just stupid fucking definitions behind them and back them up. And those change, words and definitions change per 5 foot, per culture, per person. And just by changing your tone changes the complete definition of a word. So, or at least how it's perceived. So, anyways, I always get nervous when I talk on camera. I don't really like doing it. In fact, I used to not do it in my last video, my last channel, my first, I'd say couple handfuls of videos. They definitely weren't. I didn't like showing my face. But I had a friend who convinced me, he's like, bro, you don't want people calling you these names or saying that you're fake or you're not a real person. And, you know, I slowly started showing my face, getting more comfortable. I actually made the first couple of videos with my father, who recently passed. But that was all in the last channel. And I'm really hoping I still have some of those videos, especially his health videos. Like how he just lived for 19 years on dialysis because he no longer had diabetes or hypertension or MSRA or coronary heart failure or congestive heart failure. All gone, including his brain aneurysm, which we all healed through Dr. John Bonner's research, applying David Jubb's Food Life recipes and forks over knives. It was really simple. On top of that, I found other research that I found applicable to our situation, like when I studied under the gurus and Vedas for 2 years just to understand their culture a little better. I found out things like gurus like to go to sleep every night taking 1 teaspoon of a seed called haritaki. And what it does is it increases oxygen 300% in your body, allowing for rapid healing, rapid regeneration, and organ repair. Whoa! I also learned things along the way that if you're having oxygen deprivation of the blood, you can do things like take food-grade oxygen or food-grade hydrogen peroxide to increase the oxygen up to 500% in your blood. Yes, the trick with that is only take it in distilled water. Don't mix it with tap or a bottled water because it'll activate before it gets to your stomach. So now you're kind of drinking foamy, nasty water, and you're not really you don't have readily available unsolubles to absorb. You now have activated solubles. So then on top of that, we learned later as we studied that iodine is a leech, and you can literally put iodine into your food and water like they did in the 60s and below. At every hospital, when you ordered water or got water and were thirsty, they brought you iodine-filled water because it extracted things the body could not remove, especially from the liver, kidneys, and digestive tract. Wow! Why did we stop doing that? Better yet, why did Betsy Dexter Dyer and several other botanists back in 1970, 1960, and 1950 predict that we were going to be out of iodine in food and soils, and by the time we hit 1990, and here we are in 2020, and we are depleted of iodines and nutrients in soils. What is up with these things that nobody wants to talk about? But on top of that, one more fun fact, healthy secret for y'all was haritaki, food-grade hydrogen peroxide, and iodine. Oh, iodine, also the fun fact of iodine is it'll remove plastic from your body, polymer. Whoa, we have no way to remove that, and that is damaging all of us beyond any way. In case you didn't know and you have not researched, drinking any water that has been sitting in a bottle for longer than 24 hours will automatically test for polymer, which is plastic. The plastic that touches your bottles or touches your water that's supposed to be natural flowing and in oxygen is not doing any benefit. It is leaching plastic into your water and polymer. I am out of data. I'm not going to be able to finish this. I literally got 20 seconds. It's flashing red. I didn't know I didn't have so much space. I'll return shortly with more videos, guys. In fact, you subscribers who have come on recently have motivated me, plus my friends back home I'm returning to. So, and everybody everywhere has, especially you, Pablo.